Hello from the beautiful Gili Islands. Right now we are here in Gili Air, which is where we'll be staying for the next 3 nights. And hopefully we'll be doing some snorkeling, diving, and maybe take a day trip to Lombok. We actually just arrived here a couple hours ago on the Ekajaya fast boat from Padang. It only made one stop in Gili T before coming here to Gili Air, and it cost 385k one way or 770 two ways. So far, my first impressions of Gili Air have been really good. It has a really laid-back feel here. There's just one main road and a bunch of little alleys that connect the island. Also, if you didn't know, there are no cars or motorbikes on the Gili Islands. There are only bikes and horses. I have heard a lot about the horses being mistreated here on Gili, so you can decide if you want to take a horse and carriage, but I think the best way to get around is by bike. Now, even though the island is small, you do want to make sure that your hotel is near the harbor, because once you get off the ferry, you'll have to carry all your luggage to your hotel. Another thing I've noticed on our first night here is that the food prices in Gili are a lot higher than prices in Bali. For example, if a meal is 50k in Bali, it'll probably be closer to 70k here. After our ferry got here, it actually started pouring rain, so we just got settled in our room and swam in the pool there. But now it's really cleared up. It's still really cloudy, but it's a nice sunset by the beach, and we're just gonna have dinner here. Good morning from our second day in Gili Air. Today we're going to go on a snorkeling tour to see the other 2 Gili Islands and the famous Gili underwater statues.
We go to Gili Meno, see the underwater statue. After statue, we go to Coral Garden.
We just got back from an amazing morning snorkeling tour here in Gili Air. We went to 3 different snorkel spots. The first one was near Gili T, and it was a really shallow area to see turtles. Then we went to an area off of Gili Meno and saw lots of fish and coral. And then our last stop was the famous underwater statues. We also had lunch at a nice restaurant on the beach at Gili Meno while we waited for the crowds to leave from the statues. And when we got back to the statues, there were almost no people there, but the current was really strong. We actually just booked this tour yesterday evening when we were walking around town at this place right near the port, and we got a private boat tour for 4.5 hours for only 800k for the 6 of us. That's actually one great thing about traveling in a larger group or with a family, is that it's usually cheaper to book the private boat tours than the public ones, and they're much better because you get to choose your own itinerary and try to avoid the crowds. And now, after stopping back at our hotel to get some dry clothes, we're going on a little bike ride around the island to explore. We actually rented these bikes last night at the same place that we booked our snorkel tour, and they're only at 35k for the old bikes or 50k for the newer ones. The only thing about getting bikes for this cheap is that you always feel like they're gonna fall apart, and it's so scary to do big turns or drive in the sand, which is what a lot of the roads here are like. We just stopped at this local fruit stand to get some fruit juices for only 15k, which shows that if you can find the right places, not everything is expensive on Gili. So after biking around the island for a bit, we decided to just hang out at our hotel for a couple hours, but now it's 5:30 golden hour, and what better way to spend the evening than watching the sunset at the beach. Good morning once again from the beautiful Gili Air, and today I'm going to do something which has been on my bucket list for quite a long time, which is scuba diving. We booked a Discover Scuba Diving course with a company called Oceans 5 on Gili Air, and again we just booked this the day before. After learning some basic dive theory and practicing a bit in the pool, we were ready to go into the ocean. Overall, this was a really cool experience, and it was interesting to learn how scuba diving works even though we didn't see much during the dive. After diving, we got some street food and spent the evening at the beach once again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again next time.